Hi, welcome to HutCuisine. I'm Sue and this is my second vlog. Thank you to all those who sent really nice comments. I really appreciate that, and some great feedback. If you haven't hit subscribe on the page, then if you could, that would be brilliant. So today I'm going to do 3 canapes or 3 nibbles, or whatever you want to call. Something that's fairly quick, that you can have prepared. Great if some friends come round in lockdown, keeping your social distance, just really to spice things up a bit. So we're going to start with some spice nuts. I've got some macadamia nuts in here. These are Morrison's, Market Street. A little bit of advertising for Morrison's. And I've got some cashews. So we've got 200 grams of nuts. It doesn't need to be accurate. This is a fairly rustic dish. So we've got our nuts. What we're then going to do is, we've got some rosemary, but you could use other herbs. This is fresh rosemary, picked out of the garden this morning. Sounds like a James Martin, doesn't it? And what I'm going to do is chop this finely, but you could use dried rosemary, you could use dried mint, mixed herbs, or you could do smoked paprika. That's quite nice. But basically we're going to chop this rosemary because we don't want these big stalky things on. So we're just going to chop it up finely. You can see here when I'm chopping, I've got the knife on the back of my finger. That way then it's never going to chop my finger off, which is always a good thing. So we want to chop this. Another way, if you're just wanting to do, is to give it a good bit like this. So this is one that you could prepare earlier. You could have this, you can actually pick your rosemary and dry it yourself. But the smell is delicious, and it's a great herb to grow in the garden because it's pretty hardy. So if you're like me and you're not very green-fingered, or green-fingered even, it's great. It has lovely little blue flowers, great scent, fantastic with lamb. And you can just take like a sprig of rosemary, dip it in oil and use that to base on the barbecue. So we've got that chopped, you can see there, quite nicely finely chopped, and then we're going to put this in with our nuts, as they say. Okay, so what we're then going to add, and again this is entirely up to you what you add. So I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil, which is about half a tablespoon. For my precise friends who've said a glug of this and that is a bit difficult to follow, I will try and do some recipes. Some salt, good pinch of salt, some nice sea salt, good grinding of black pepper. Then I've got some of this, which is a Japanese 7 spice powder, so it's got all sorts of different things, and it's got some chili and stuff. It's really nice. You can get it at the supermarket. I'm just going to put a grind in there, and you can see in there the sort of different colour that adds to it. Next we're going to add something just to make it a little bit sticky. So this is maple syrup. You could use honey to do that, and again that's about a tablespoon. And then we are going to give it a big stir. What you want to do now is to get all of those nuts really coated well. So as I say, you can use anything. Don't be afraid just to try it. It's only nuts. If you don't like them, just do something different next time. But get that coated. So you want all that stickiness there. And they look good enough to eat just as they are, but they're really nice when you cook them. So once we've got the nuts prepared, we pop them on our tray.
It's in the oven.
It's in the oven warming up, so let's get it out. We get the tray. Now this is a non-stick tray. If you don't have a non-stick tray, these pads are really, these mats are really good to put them on. This is non-stick, so we don't need that. So we've got our nuts, and literally we're just, you can't really call this cooking, can you? It's simple, as they say. So you can see there, Mr. Cameraman, we've got all our nuts. I'm just going to get that lovely little sticky bits on there. We don't want to waste any of that rosemary. Seems it's grown for us. Okay, Put the nuts to one side, there, the bowl to one side, and there we have our nuts. They're going to go in the oven now for about 10 minutes, about 180. Just keep your eye on them because you have got the sort of sweetness in there with the maple syrup, and you don't want them to burn. So they're going to go in the oven, really easy. We'll pop them in our oven. They're in there for 10 minutes. Okay, let's have a little clean down. So the next dish we're going to do is a pea soup, chilled pea soup. So in this really hot weather that we've had, it's a great dish. It looks impressive. You can call it pea veloute if you've got posh friends. But basically we're going to start with some stock. I've got some chicken stock here. So I've got 500 mils of chicken stock. You could use vegetable stock, vegan stock, whatever you want. So I'm just going to put my stock in there on the camping stove so we can get it right. Turn that on. There we are. So that's going to come to the boil, and we've got peas, good old frozen peas. Okay, and now we've got the peas in the pan. The peas are cooked. They've cooked for about 5 minutes, and as you can see here, nicely taken on some of that stock. So literally what we're going to do is we're going to blitz the peas. As I say, it's not really cooking. So I'm just going to move that to one side. And we've got a liquidizer here. If you don't have a liquidizer, then you could use, if you've got a stick blender, or you could mash it and then put it through a sieve. But basically I've got the peas in there, and what I'm going to do is going to give them a blitz. If it's a little bit thick, you can add a little bit more stock. You could even have some cream if you want to make it a bit more luxurious. So it is going to be a little bit noisy, so flick of the switch. So it's got that, you can see there that looks quite thick. So I'm just going to add a little bit more water. Again, not an exact science, just get it to the consistency you want to be able to sort of drink it. Beautiful. Again, you can't smell this, but really, really nice. Some lovely pea soup. So we've got that. We'll just put that to one side while we do our next dish, which is the chorizo. Okay, and now we're going to do the third dish, which is chorizo in red wine. Again, pretty simple, as you can see from my recipes. So I've taken some chorizo, which you can get at the supermarket. These are ambient. You'll see them sort of like normally hanging up near the cooked meats. You can get the raw chorizo sausages near where the chilled meats are. So it's up to you. They'd need a bit more cooking because the product is raw. So I've chopped here some chorizo, so you can see really nice. You've got that paprika in. You can get different types. So if people don't like spicy food, get one of the ones that's non-spicy. So what we're going to do is I've got my pan on the stove, and I'm now going to cook that chorizo. So just turn that up a little bit. You don't need to put any fat in because the chorizo, let's get my spoon. The chorizo has got lots, and you start to see that orange oil coming out, which is lovely. And you can always save that, put that on some mashed potatoes, great with scallops. So you're just getting those now. So you can just see there, Mr. Cameraman. Start to see the oil coming out. So they're just going to cook away. Okay, while they're just doing that, we're going to finish off our soup. So I'll just give them a bit of a stir. Again, this sort of dish you can do, cook it and actually then just put it in the freezer and then defrost it, stick it in a oven-proof dish, put it in the freezer, voila, there it is when friends come round, just something that you prepared earlier. So you can see there, you're starting to get the caramelisation on the outside of the chorizo. So into there now, I'm going to add my bay leaf, 2 bay leaves. I'm going to turn that down just a fraction. I'm going to add some red wine. So this is a Merlot. You can use whatever red wine you've got. What it says is, you know, if you cook with rubbish wine, then you'll get rubbish food. So I'm going to pour that, see that sizzling away. And that's just going to reduce. And as it's doing that, it's sort of cooking. So I'm just slowing that down a little bit. What I'm going to add is a little bit of honey. What I've got here is some lime blossom honey. You can use any type of honey, which will just give it a nice stickiness. And there's a little bit of lime in there to give it a bit of piquancy. So let's just stir that in. Very nice. Turn that up a bit so it's bubbling away. Right, so our peas. So we've got our glasses. I have some of these little glasses, well, the plastic ones, but great if you're doing outdoors and you don't want to break. But we're going to take the pea and we're going to pour that in like so. So you can, as I say, you can warm this up, or you can have it chilled, just to sort of finish it off. Just to make it look really fancy for when your friends come round. I've got a little bit of creme fraiche, which is going to blob in the top. And a little bit of mint. So you could make your own mint sauce. This is actually some mint sauce out of a jar. A little bit of sugar, a little bit of wine vinegar, and just drop that around. Pea and mint goes so well together. Really simple. So again, you could make that beforehand, have it chilled in the fridge, so it's just to finish off. If you really want to, we can add a couple of little bits of chives and try and get them in the glass. So we've got our pea soup. If you remember earlier, we did our nuts. So we've also got our nuts. Let's get all this prepared so the cameraman can take a nice picture. Just going to add a little bit of soft brown sugar. Give that a stir. So if you've got some like nice bread just to dip in this would be very nice. So that's about there now. Turn that off. So let's get our chorizo. Very nice. So it looks like you've been really busy making lots of things for your friends, but actually we've done it quite quickly. So there we have it, our 3 canapes, our 3 nibbles. We have our spiced nuts, which if you remember we put in the 7-spice Japanese, the fresh chopped rosemary and maple syrup, and then cooked off in the oven. Really pimped up our nuts. We have our chorizo in red wine that's been reduced down with a little bit of lime blossom honey and a bay leaf. And then we have our chilled pea veloute with a bit of creme fraiche, mint and some chives. And so really, it's now time for the best bit, to get fed in the shed. Hope you've enjoyed that. Please subscribe and I look forward to seeing you again. Take care. Bye.